In this video, we are just going to see about what is transaction flow testing in software testing. So the main purpose of testing is to verify the entire source of the software. So regarding this transaction flow, what is the usage of this type of a testing? First, what is transaction? A transaction is a unit of work within a system. So it may consist of so many operations which can be performed by either a user or some by external sources or else by system. So transaction is initiated by the external sources and then they are created. It's known as both. So finally after the transaction we have to end up that process. So for example, online information retrieval system consists of certain transactions like accepting, inputting, validating that input, and afterwards we have to do certain input processing like searching, requesting the particular directories from the user and accepting input, processing request, updating so many things, etc. So first, with the help of a transaction flow graph, we can intimate how the transaction is carried out throughout the entire system during the processing. With the help of this transaction flow graph, we can easily identify the behavior of the entire model of the program, which leads to the functional testing of our software. So through that we can get the entire overall view of the transaction flow. So this is an example of a transaction flow graph. Here just user begins a certain task which are checked, and again they just get a process like waiting, requesting order from the CPU and accepting input from the user. So many operations are performed. Through that graph we can easily identify flow of a transaction from where it begins and where it ends, finally what will be the result. So what is the usage of this transaction flow graph? We can easily identify the entire requirement of the complicated systems. We can easily manipulate the entire bigger system like air traffic control, airline reservation systems, and etc. So we can easily identify the simple flow of the entire graph. So through that we can easily identify the control flow of the entire technique. So what is the entire technique followed in transaction flow testing? First we have to get the transaction flow entirely either in a simple system or in a complicated system. With the help of CFG, like that is a control flow graph, we can easily identify the system flow, and afterwards through the documentation also we can get the entire flow of the transaction. Afterwards we have to do certain inspection, reviews and walkthroughs. So in order to verify whether they are in a particular track or not. So through that only we can easily identify the exact flow of the transaction. Along with that we can also follow up the looping of the entire flow graph and entire boundary values of the systems. So then and there we can identify so many test cases and we can also verify the entire transaction. So through the transaction flow we can easily select the path which are all feasible and infeasible, whether the particular path is covered in entire transaction or not. So through that we can also conduct so many sensitization. So sensitization means it's act of defining the entire transaction, and through that we can easily identify the bug. So also instrumentation technique is used to identify whether there is any flaw in our code. So path instrumentation is nothing but it is an additional code which is used to identify the errors in our path flow. So it doesn't affect our entire code. So through this we can easily identify the and we can easily test and we can easily verify the entire transaction flow. Thank you.